And along with the understanding of formula, we need to have some basic intuitive understanding also. We should have spotted this one, the potential difference is 0. Okay. And then it's easy. This resistance becomes 0. Total resistance is 10. And the equivalent EMF is 2. So 2 divided by 10, 0.2 is the current. So I think this question could be solved without putting pen to paper. This is how the current will flow. When it comes to junction, no, every current, entire current will pass through this. No current will go through other resistance. This also I can apply if the current is coming. If the two paths are there, one is zero resistance, one is non-zero resistance. Entire current will pass through the path having zero resistance. This circuit, because some of you do SC Verma, so I thought let me go through some questions which are there SC Verma, we can go through and then we can go to ET Stone. What is given here? This battery is 10 volts. This battery also is 10 volts. And all resistance are 10 ohms. Find the current through resistor A and B. So one way I can solve as a 2 loops. Now how many loops are there? 2 loops are there. I can solve using Kirchhoff loop. Or suppose I take this loop here and I say let this resistance be I1. This current is I1. So if I apply Kirchhoff loop rule in this loop, very easily I can calculate this current I1 will equal to 1 ampere. And once I have 1 ampere, I apply it to second loop. Second loop is I apply like this. What do I get here? If I start applying from here, if I start from here, for second loop, so first loop, I get a I1 is equal to 1 ampere. How about second loop? If mentally, if I look at this, this is 10.
It will be 0, right?
Yeah, it will be 0. And can we do it? I'm saying this one, you can write the equation, but this is something, are we, when you look at the figure, so can we get an intuitive feel of how the current is flowing, why it is 0 and all? So, okay. Other way of thinking would be, okay, what is, if I like, okay, I'll come to next question, perhaps I'll come to the same point. And then I'll kind of come to this point in the next question. Okay, something like this. Here also, again, each are 10 volts. And 10 volts. Try to think of different ways how to understand the circuit and how to solve it faster and better. See, without solving, do you get a feel that current in B may be 0? The current through, yes. What makes you think that?
Because of symmetry, like it should enter from both sides.
Huh. So okay. So one way to interpret asymmetry. You have brought the word symmetry. So what does symmetry mean? If this current is I, even this current also should be I. If this current is II and if this current is I1, this also should be I1. Yes. Then what current should I have here? This one says I minus I1, this one says, this says in this direction. Basically, the only way it can satisfy when the current is 0. So basically, whatever current, so this current, this loop will have a current flowing like this. This loop will have current flowing like this, and nothing will flow. So if you disconnect, also remains same. So this is okay. So this more for these questions are more for building up your intuitive understanding of questions. Okay, let's solve this question. So E1 is given as, this is something it cannot solve just like that. This requires a little bit. E2 is equal to 2 volts. E1 is equal to 1 volt. And R1, R2, each one is 1 ohm. So what we need to find here, we need to find potential difference between point A and B. If I mark 2 points, small a and small b, will that be same or any different? Actually, A and B is same as potential difference between 2 points in the circuit. There's no difference and no resistance is there. So potential at A is same as small a, potential B is small b. So prima facie, when I look at the question, am I clear about how I'm going to solve this question? What is the method of solving this question? Are we clear before we get started? What is the method of solving this question? Disha, can you tell me how we will solve this question? What is the method of solving this question?
So like first we can distribute the current and
yes,
then apply Kirchhoff's rule for the
Yes. So when we distribute current, how many current values I need to assume? How many loops are there? 2 loops. I1, I2, 3 branches. How many branches? 1, 2, 3 branches are there. Do I need to take I1, I2, I3 or 2 are enough?
2 are enough, sir.
2 are enough. So I use current distribution using junction rule. If I apply junction rule, then we can calculate the value of current and okay. And we can solve. So let's see, this is suppose we need to solve this question. Okay. And okay, let's see, suppose I write like this. Let me take this current as I1. And let me say this current as, see this current is going from the battery is upward going as I2. And this current is I1 plus I2. Okay. So can we easily solve this question, two equation, and this, okay, if we solve like this, what is the value of I1 and I2 we get here? Can some of you quickly get this value of I1 and I2? For given this direction, you have to write the equation, the top loop and bottom loop. Can we easily get this, quickly get this equation, sorry. If I start from here, if I write the equation, 3
1 amp and minus 1.
Minus I1 minus of I1 plus I2 minus 2. Yeah, so basically you can easily calculate I1 is equal to comes equal. Reason I have taken up this question, I1 comes equal to 1. And what is the value of I2 we get here?
Minus 1.
Minus 1. So whenever we get a question, when we get a negative value, what we should do? What does this value imply, negative value?
A positive current is in the opposite direction.
So basically what I do, so basically to minus value, I can remove this I2 and replace with 1 ampere in the other direction. And some of you get a little confused what happens. So it means that's what it implies.
That means there's no current through the...
No current will flow through. Why the no current is flowing through? So if I ask without calculation, what is the potential difference between point A and B? If I tell you the potential difference between point A and B is going to come to 2 volts.
2.
Why that? If no current, see when is the current not flowing through a battery? So suppose I have a battery here.
When there are same potential.
If this is here, we were 2 ohm, this is
when
2.
potential difference is 0.
When no. When if I connect, what has to be potential difference in A and B so that current flowing through battery is 0. If I is 0, what does this imply? When would this happen when the current flowing through battery is 0?
They're connected to same potential.
No, potential difference. See, what is the EMF of the battery? EMF battery is 3 volts. Okay, so if it is connected to 2 points, which 2 point it is connected to circuit? Let's say it is connected to point A and B. If a potential at A minus potential at B is equal to 3 volts, which is EMF of the battery, the current from the battery becomes 0. Does it make some sense?
Just like connecting same battery parallel.
Same battery. So what is happening in this case also same thing. Let's look at even previous case also. When I looked at this case also, see this battery is connected between 2 terminals. I can take this also internal resistance. So what is the potential difference between these 2 points? This battery, this whole arrangement is connected between these 2 points. It is connected between point A and B. What is potential difference between point A and B? It's already 10. No current will flow through the battery. So here also the current through battery is 0. So when battery is connected across 2 points, having same potential difference as EMF of the battery, then current through battery is 0. Does it make logical sense? Can we deduct the same thing based on Kirchhoff loop rule? Yes, we can easily deduct. Let's see how do we deduct that point. Okay, Ahlad, any question? Yes.
Sir, why does I1 and I2 come towards the battery? Sir, why won't it flow through A?
No, basically, this is something, these potentials are different. So look at this is 3 volt, this is 1 volt.
Sir,
So
current
that,
flow out of the, out of
okay.
this, right?
Try and think of, first for a minute, forget this. Try and think of this. And suppose there are 2 points here. What is given? VA minus VB is given as 3 volts. If battery is connected like this, what is the current which will flow through the battery? Tell me. How would I calculate this current flow through the battery? Can I write a Kirchhoff loop rule? Try and understand what is happening, why the current will be 0, Ahlad? I can write like this. I don't know what the current is. Let me assume the current is I. So if I calculate potential difference between VB and VA, I start from VB. Okay, VB minus 2I plus 3 is equal to VA. So what is VA minus VB equal to?
minus 3.
3 minus 2I. But VA minus B gives 3. So what has the value of I? Comes to 0. So what happens in the battery, whether this is, see, each battery has certain EMF. But if it is connected to 2 points, other 2 points also have same potential difference as the EMF of the battery, with the positive side being higher, the current through battery becomes 0. Are you understanding this point here? Alad, have you got this point or not?
This point I got, sir, but I didn't understand why I took current is not going through A and it passed through the second.
Now let's come to this question. Let's look at this question. Suppose this battery was not connected earlier. Okay, and I find the potential difference. Battery was not connected, right? Middle battery is not connected. Can you find the current easily here? What will the current if battery is not connected? If this battery is not connected, what will the current? There's only single loop. Current will be equal to 1 ampere. Which direction current is flowing like this? How much current is flowing through? 1 ampere. Any problem with that? No. If the current is 1 ampere, can I calculate potential difference between A and B? Yes, I can easily calculate potential at A, VA minus 1 minus 1 is equal to VB. So what is VA minus VB? 2 volts. So what does it mean? If between these 2 points, if you connect any battery which has EMF of 2, no current will flow through the battery. Is this and this same thing or different? Alad, are you getting this point? What happened had I connected in place of 2 volts? Suppose I connect 2.1 volt. What will happen in that case? Okay, let me erase it off. Let me ask this question again. See that some of you get this.
Sir, my doubt was, I mean, when we take junction rule, then which direction should we take current flowing in?
No, you see, I told you number of times. Junction rule, does it matter which direction we take the current? Alad, tell me. Do we need to think about which direction should I take? No need to think. Are you getting my point?
Sir, I didn't understand why you took I1 plus I2 towards the battery instead of towards
Okay.
A, sir.
Okay. Let me come to that point. Okay. Let's say, suppose I have taken this direction as, I have taken this current as I1. And I have taken this current as I2. Is there any choice about direction of current in this branch? Is there any choice? The moment I have selected this current as I1 and this is I2. Can I write this current like this, Alad?
No, sir.
No. So it depends on the choice I have made. See, so I could have done the other way around. What is the other way? Suppose I said do other way around. I didn't know that. I have taken this current as, let's see that one. What is other way of thinking? I could have assumed this as I1, this as I2. In that case, what is the current I would have written here? I1 plus I2. Will I get a different answer? Can I make the current distribution like this? First of all, is this current distribution matching the junction rule? It is matching. So whichever distribution I write, it must conform to junction rule. If I solve this question like this also, would I get a different answer? Alad, is your doubt clear or not clear yet?
Sir, here we assume that the current through A is 0, right?
I'm not assuming. See, here the current cannot flow anyway. They are now open circuit. Oh, okay. You are confused. Whenever something like this is given, so you have to assume there's no current here. That's the only way you can solve this question. Okay, that's my doubt. So whenever it is given like this open circuit here, but though it is written like this, yes, no current flowing through this branch. Okay, that's your doubt. So that's the question here. So to that extent, this question is slightly confusing. What will happen here? If we connect to rest of the circuit, perhaps some current could have flown here. But in such question, when it is given like this, you need to assume this is a circuit which is not connected to rest of the circuit. This is not, see, some question they mention, it is a part of a larger circuit. You understand some question, have you seen some question the right? If it is part of a larger circuit, then I have to assume it is connected to rest of the circuit, current will flow. It is not mentioned anywhere. It means it is only this circuit exists. So can a current flow here? No, current will not flow. No current here. If that was doubt, your answer. Okay. Coming back to the second point. And all of you try and pay attention. So suppose this point is A and B. What we said, even E2 was equal to 2 volts. What is the current I2 in this figure? Nitya, when E2 was equal to 2 volts, what are the current here?
0, sir.
0. Now try and answer, Nitya, what will happen if E2 is equal to say 2.1 volts? Can you guess the direction of current I2? And third case I'll take when E2 is equal to little less than 2 volts. Can you guess the direction of I2? Some of you, can you think of the direction? I'm saying not essential, but it's good if you can understand which direction will the current flow when voltage is slightly more and is slightly less than the potential difference here. Nitya, can you guess this one?
I think it will be away from E2, sir.
So when first case, in this case, I2 will be in this direction. Second case, I2 will be in this direction. Ashray, have you following what you're saying now?
Yes, sir.
You understood this clearly?
Yes, sir.
Tejas?
Yes, sir.
Saishriya?
So how are we supposed to tell that, sir?
Okay, you come back to the same point. Is this something similar to this, what I have written here or not, Akash? So how I can tell? Okay, let me tell. How do we tell?
Okay.
Yeah. Can I apply the rule between A and B?
Yes, sir.
Can I tell or not?
Yes, sir. If we get positive, then it's along that line.
So you can get positive or not. So are you getting some sense of what happens when you connect the battery? See, this is something what I'm telling. It is not essential to know, but if you know, it improves your intuitive understanding. Are you getting some sense of what you're saying? Vignesh, you raised your hand. You have any query?
Sir, in this case, we can also say like anti-clockwise direction of the current is like more dominant, right here? Because 2.1 volts.
Okay, but I think, see what happens if there is a single loop. If there's a single loop, suppose the loop is something given like this. Here the two loops, that is difficult to tell, Vignesh. I think we should not even try that one. See, if suppose it is given as 4 volts and this is 5 volts. And you have to tell which direction the current will flow. This is easy. Why it is easy? Because this battery is trying to send the current in anti-clockwise direction, and this battery is trying to send the current in the clockwise direction. Which is more dominant? 4V is more dominant. So resultant current will be in the clockwise direction, which you can calculate even from loop rule also. In single loop, I can find out dominant current based on whichever battery has a larger EMF. But when such double loops are there, it's not easy to tell. Okay.
Yes.
But this is something I will try to get an intuitive understanding. Previous case also they have given a question why this battery loop is zero. So you'll come in. Okay, let's come to one more question. This case. Now in this case also, some of you can you try and let's say suppose I have to find this current I. Which current? I have to find current through 10 ohm resistance. Can I find this current I? Actually, the current comes to 0. Can you think without writing an equation why the current I will be 0? Without any calculation. Can some of you think of why the current through 10 ohm resistor will be 0? I comes to 0.
Because potential difference across the 6 ohm resistor is also 3 volt.
Yes. So when I look at this circuit, if I suppose this was not connected, what I notice here, this potential difference is 4.5 volts. It will get distributed across 3 ohm and 6 ohm. Good. Some of you are noticing that one. So this will be 1.5 volts potential difference, and this will have 3 volts potential difference. So if I connect a battery which has EMF of 3 volts, it will not have any current flowing through the battery. Here the current is flowing, but through the battery, no current will flow. But suppose this battery was 2 volts, what happened? The current would have flown in this direction. The battery had been 4 volts, current would have flown in the other direction. Okay, so we can get some intuitive sense of direction of current flow, but otherwise also I can solve this question applying Kirchhoff loop rule. Is it? Yes. Some of you raised hand. Any query somebody has?
So how can we consider 3 ohm and 6 ohm to be in series? There's a branch in between.
No, basically I'm saying, what I'm saying, assuming initially it was not connected.
Oh.
Okay. So what would happen if this was not connected? This would happen. Now I connect those two. So I'm thinking this has come later. So if this has come later, which way the current flow depend on before this was connected? What are the potential difference between those 2 points? Are you getting my point now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, not only formula, but when you look at this, try to get an intuitive feel of how the current would flow. So that's what I think we're spending time on. So assuming top battery was not connected initially, when it is connected, the direction of current flow will depend on EMF of the battery. Is this point understood? That was the purpose behind taking up this question. Yes. Now we come to VT stone. We have been, even in this case of capacitor also, we talked about VT stone. But VT stone is a question which comes in IP also, is an important question. Let's go through VT stone. It's a proof of VT stone bridge. So let's step by step go through. So VT stone bridge is arrangement of 4 resistances connected in form of a loop. How are the 4 resistances connected? We have made a kind of a loop of 4 resistors, R1, R2, R3, R4. Okay, and this why I'm writing step by step. Just try to pay attention so that if you understand the logical sequence, you can write your IP answer also without memorization. And I think most of the questions in IP, if you understand, there's very little to be memorized. And second year IP preparation, I would like you people to spend minimum time in IP preparation so that you can focus more on competitive examination. Now batteries, let's step by step what is VT stone. VT stone is arrangement of 4 resistances. Okay, battery is connected across one pair of diagonally opposite points A and B. So there is I would have connected across other one also. Around A, across one diagonally opposite pair, battery is connected across point A and B. Galvanometer G is connected across 2 opposite points. So one pair battery, other pair of diagonally opposite point, a galvanometer is connected. What is a galvanometer? Galvanometer is a device which can detect, it's a very sensitive device. It can detect even a very small flow, even microampere also. So purpose of this device is to detect current flow. So when no current is flowing, suppose the needle is like this. If one direction current flows, the needle deflects towards right. If the current direction is opposite, it may deflect towards left. So any kind of deflection indicates the presence of current in the branch in which galvanometer is connected. So this is kind of step we'll write in the answer also. Arrangement, battery is connected, then we write galvanometer is connected. And purpose of galvanometer is to detect any small current flow in the branch CD. Will it detect current in any other branch? No, it is connected in branch CD. It will detect current in the branch CD alone. Now we'll do current distribution. Whether it is basically, if we have to mark a current distribution, how would I have marked the current distribution? Okay, let's see 4 resistances. In this, let's see the current is I1, this is the direction. Current I2 also I mark this direction. Let me mark the current I3 assuming this direction. And current I4 this direction. So I mark the current distribution I1, I2, I3, and I4 in the 4 resistances R1, R2, R3, R4 in the direction indicated. And let me mark some direction in terms of current in the galvanometer, which is the branch CD. So we have done marking of current. Now we call balanced VT stone bridge. What does the word balanced mean? The VT stone is considered to be balanced when the current flowing through the galvanometer is 0. So there's only a particular condition the current will become 0 when the potential across point C and D to which galvanometer is connected becomes 0. So VT stone is considered to be balanced when there's no current through the galvanometer. Potential difference across its terminals is 0. Now we'll calculate that condition. Very simple calculation. The first thing what we do, we are doing this calculation for which condition? For this equal to 0. So we apply Kirchhoff junction rule at point C. If we apply Kirchhoff junction rule at C, very easily we can conclude that I1 is equal to I2. Okay. So first application of a similar way, if I apply Kirchhoff junction rule at junction D, I3 is equal to I4. Very simple. Now we apply Kirchhoff loop rule. See, purpose is to find out relationship between resistances. Kirchhoff loop rule I apply in the loop ACDA. So which loop I am going through like this, ACDA loop. So when I apply AC/DA loop from here, how do the current I write? Minus I1 R1. I'm going in the direction of current. From here to here 0. Your current is 0, hence potential difference 0. Here I'm going opposite to direction of current. So plus I3 R3 is equal to 0. It gives you value of I1 by I3 is equal to R3 by R1. That's the first equation. Similar way, I apply Kirchhoff loop rule for second loop, which is CBDA. So I apply in this loop. So when I apply in this loop, how do I write the equation? Along the direction of current, minus I2 R2. Again, opposite to current, hence plus sign, plus I4 R4 is equal to 0. It gives me a ratio of I2 by R4. I2 by I4 is equal to R4 by R2. But I2 and I4, what is I2 equal to? I2 is equal to I1 and I4 is equal to I3. So if I substitute, this is something, it becomes equal to I1 by I3. I1 by I3 is equal to R4 by R2. So from first equation and second equation, what we conclude? We conclude that R3 by R1 is equal to R4 by R2, or R1 by R2 is equal to R3 by R4. That's a condition for balanced Wheatstone bridge. And it's a very important question for IP. As you would notice, the derivation of this is extremely simple. So this is a condition when Wheatstone is balanced. So what is the condition here? Ratio of two adjacent R1, this ratio of these two has to be equal to ratio of these two. That's a condition for balance. If resistances are of this type, if they bear this ratio, it will no current will flow through galvanometer. And this combination can also be used to find out an unknown resistance. If three resistances are known, if one resistance is unknown, I can find out the value of unknown resistance using a balanced Wheatstone bridge. What will happen? Suppose this same resistance are given. If we interchange the position of battery and galvanometer, will it still remain balanced or not? What we are doing? What does interchanging means? Interchanging battery and galvanometer. So what happens rather than this? If I connect a battery like this and connect galvanometer across other diagonal, will it still remain balanced? If it was balanced in the initial state,
Yes,
what
sir.
is the condition required now? Condition
R3 by
required.
R1 is equal to R4 by R2.
R3 by R1 has to be equal to, now left by right is equal to R4 by R2. Is it same? Yes, it's satisfying. So basically, if it is balanced across one pair of point, it is also balanced across. If we interchange also, if it was balanced initially, if we interchange the position of battery and galvanometer, still it remains balanced. And purpose this is so current is not flowing. In this case, does galvanometer, can we treat galvanometer as a resistor? Yes, galvanometer also has certain resistance. So it is equivalent to resistor getting connected here. Only difference compared to a simple resistor is galvanometer, in addition to being a resistance, it also has the ability to measure current. Otherwise, galvanometer is nothing but a resistance. So no current is flowing. No current flowing clearly indicates the potential between difference between C and D has to be 0. Yes, any questions?
So if it's balanced and the resistor is connected, then it's just the series of top two connected parallel.
Correct. That's it. So then we have to calculate equivalent resistance, and that's what the we use in. So suppose there was resistance connected here R5. If it is balanced, what is the equivalent resistance? I'll take these two in series. I'll take these two in series and then parallel combination.
So then what if it's not balanced but still R5 is there? So how do we calculate for that?
That is separate. That cannot be done simple calculation. We'll do that later on. In that case, what we need to do, if we recall, we have done a similar question in case of capacitor with 5 capacitors. If you recall that one, we'll do a similar question in case of resistance also. In that case, what we need to do, see, suppose 2 points are given. Which are the 2 points? If I have to find equal resistance between 2 points A and B, how do you find resistance equal to? Resistance between point A and B is equal to what? So if current I gets into the junction here and the potential difference in A and B is equal to V, the ratio of potential difference between 2 points divided by the current entering the junction is equal to equivalent resistance between point A and B. So what we'll do in that case, we have to do the current distribution, this calculation. We'll do one question later on. We'll do some question later on. But if it is balanced, life becomes easy. But yes, you may not get many such questions like that. But that's what it is. But if it is not R4 also, still it can be calculated. How do we calculate that one? I have discussed earlier also. In that case, we'll go through current distribution and we write potential difference between A and B in terms of current and resistance, and then divide by current. So current terms should cancel and we get the value of resistance. Condition for Wheatstone to be balanced, this is a condition. Okay. And a very simple question is this. What has the value of R so that there's no current in 50 ohm resistor? Okay, all of you be quiet. I'll ask some of you, all of you, in your mind, think of an answer. And those whom I ask should answer this question. Harshit? Harshit? Please respond quickly. Harshit? Gayatri, please note. Harshit, no response. Okay. Joshua?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me what is the value of R here so that no current flows through 50 ohm? Is it something related to what you had done a few minutes back? Joshua, can you give me an answer? What is the value of R so that which current has become zero? Basically, you're saying so that no current through this one. So no current is flowing through. What has the condition so that no current flows through this resistance? Joshua, no answer? Okay. No answer from Joshua. Neha? Neha?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me the value of R here so that no current flows through? Is it something similar to what you had done a few minutes back, Neha? You understood what you had done here? When would current through galvanometer be zero? What is galvanometer? We discussed galvanometer also resistance. What is the condition for current to be zero here? The ratio of this by this has to be equal to ratio of this by this. So when you look at this question, is this question also is application of Wheatstone bridge? Yes. So what it is a Wheatstone bridge with galvanometer replaced with 50 ohm resistance. So what is the condition for this? So this one is equivalent to, in the previous figure, R1. This is equivalent to R2. First resistance, second resistance. This is third resistance, this is fourth resistance. So what is the condition for no current to flow through or Wheatstone to be balanced? R1 by R2 is equal to R3 by R4. So 10 by 20 has to be equal to R by 40. Is it a difficult question to answer? Absolutely not. R is equal to 20 ohms. Neha, was it a difficult question?
No, sir.
You should have answered. Okay. So this is a balanced Wheatstone and very simple question. On similar way, can we also calculate current through this ammeter here in this question? It's an extension of the same logic. What is the logic here? If you look at this, you will notice from here, what we find because of symmetry, if this current is equal to, if the total current is I, and this is I1 and this is I2. Khyati? Khyati, are you there?
Sir?
Yes.
Khyati absent, sir.
Khyati is absent. Oh, okay, wonderful. Got it. So, okay. Okay, so Shachi?
Yes, sir.
So let's see what is the current coming from the battery. Let's see, the I is the current flowing coming to the battery. And in this junction, the current will get divided into two paths. There's some current I1 going here and I2 going here. Can you tell me what would be the relationship between I1 and I2 in this figure? Would there be any particular relationship between I1 and I2, particular ratio? Do you notice anything? You notice something here special in the circuit here? Sachi, can you notice something special? No? Okay, so you don't find anything special in the figure. Let's see, somebody else can find something special in the figure. Kartikeya,
Yes, sir.
do you notice anything special in the figure?
Sir, I1 equals I2
Why?
because of symmetry.
Because symmetry. See, basically the current, the path, this path, exactly if you travel along this path, any charge moving along this path will find identical path as the one traveling here. Since the both paths are identical, so if this current is I, this will be equal to I by 2, and this also will be equal to I by 2. And if both currents are equal, if this point potential is equal, potential, if I call this point as A and B, potential at A and B also will be equal. Okay, why? Because from here there's a potential drop of I by 2 into 10. Here also there's a potential drop of I by 2 into 10. So there's equal potential drop. These two potentials are equal. No current will flow through here. Similarly, if I take this point C and D, these 2 points also from here equal current flowing through equal resistance, equal potential drops. So potentials are equal. No current will flow through. I can as well remove these 2 resistances. If I remove all these 2 resistances, these 3 become parallel. So top one becomes equal to 30 ohm and bottom one also becomes equal to 30 ohm. So what is the, if I call this point as P and Q, what is the resistance between point P and Q? 15 ohm. So equivalent resistance between P and Q. So the resistance between P and Q is equal to 15 ohm. Hence the current also. So basically you look at current is equal to, that is the current. That's the current which will flow. Shachi, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Have you seen symmetry for the first time or have you seen it before?
I've seen it before.
Seen it before. And so once we see it, next time we see it's bad. But if you meet a person, next time the person meets and again you start telling, oh, I have seen it or not. It shouldn't happen. You met a person, you should remember next time also. Similar way, when you see a symmetrical figure, you should have an idea about having seen it before. It should not suddenly again become unfamiliar. All steps are clear, so you can easily solve. Anybody has any queries so far? Kevin, have you understood clearly?
Yes, sir.
Can you solve it? But before I told this also, have
yes, sir. When you showed the diagram, I got the answer.
Okay, very good. Good. That's what should happen. As you've seen, you should immediately notice. Now, can we calculate equivalent resistance between A and B in this figure? First, let's try in this figure. What does equivalent resistance mean if I send this current? So even if battery is not shown, we can assume the battery will be connected with which point it will be connected across point A and B, or this whole thing will be connected. So each resistance is R. Okay. Do we spot any parallel series here? Hemant, can you solve this question? Hemant?
Yes, sir.
Tell me, how would you solve this one?
See,
all resistances are equal, but just for the purpose of identification of everyone, I am giving it a number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How would you solve, Anand? Hemant?
I'm checking for if there anything, if there's series and parallel.
The first thing what we do whenever we see a circuit, when you look for series. If there's something series, we make it simpler. We replace those 2 or 3 with 1. Then we look for parallel. What is the next thing we do when we don't spot series and parallel? Sometimes we try to redraw, but this also actually is not a redraw kind of question. What is if nothing happens, then what we should look for next?
Equipotential.
Yeah.
It may be a VT stone. It may be a VT stone. So do we see a VT stone anywhere here in this?
Yes.
So there,
Yeah.
R2 is the.
So we notice actually which is a VT stone. This part is nothing but a
VT stone.
VT stone. Do you all spot it?
Yes, sir.
Moment it is VT stone, so VT stone is not necessarily they have to be only 5 of them. They can be additional. So what I'm saying now, if you go back to the previous question also, let's suppose this was a question. And in this case, again, if I connect one more resistance here like this, does it still remain this part? Does it remain VT stone? Yes, this part still remains VT stone. If I connect another resistance here also, does it change? No, still this part is VT stone. So any combination of 5 resistances connected like this could be VT stone. It could be part of the circuit. It need not be the full circuit. It could be a part of the circuit. So we can spot if this is VT stone, then because I can remove this. Once I remove, it becomes easy. These two are in series. These two are in series. 2 are. So in that case, now if I draw the circuit between A and B, it becomes easy. A and B circuit is this is R6, but R1 and R3 put together, they become series. They become equal to 2R connected between A and B. So this will RC. This will become equal to
R by 2 would be the answer.
2R here, and another one also 2R, and 2R and 2R becomes R and R, and this 2, and then we can easily calculate R by 2 also. All of you can do that. Shravani, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Neha?
Yes, sir.
Joshua?
Yes, sir. I understood.
Okay. So we understood this point also. It could be hidden somewhere in the circuit. And sometime to confuse you, it can also be mentioned like this. All are R. These two are R by 2, R by 2. What is R by, sorry, these two are 2R and 2R. So what happens? Yes, one branch can be 2 parallel, but I can replace them and it becomes R. It can again become a VT stone. This circuit here. This is not a VT stone, but some of you recall how do we solve equivalent resistance between A and B. And this time, those who can find an answer, please raise your hand. Let's see how many can. This is not based on VT stone. I am giving that clue even in ahead of this. Can we find an equivalent resistance between A and B? How many of you can do it? And tell me the method you will use. Okay, some of you have very okay. So those who can find an answer. So even before solving also, if we are clear, we know which method we are going to use. So Alad, you are clear how you're going to solve? Or you have an answer also? Okay. Okay, anyway, I think this question I have done earlier also, and some of you recall. This is also based on symmetry. What does symmetry mean? If this current is I1 here, this is corresponding pair. This also has to be I1. If both are I1, I can as well connect like this. I can remove this junction, I can remove this junction. When I remove these two become in series. And this series become parallel, and subsequently you can calculate. So this is based on symmetry. We'll come to this part, this kind of question somewhat later, but okay. So I hope all are clear. All of you can find an answer. Okay, so I'll do one more thing today. Okay, this is a pretty simple one. I think some of you might get confused. In both cases, do you notice, will the current here, let's see, the current is I1 here. It's a very quick question, so we'll not spend too much of time. This current is I2. Now we have to find between I1 and I2, which one will be greater? Which circuit will have greater current? Let's see who can answer this one. Okay, Samhita, are you there? Is your audio functioning? Samhita?
Yes, sir.
Oh, very good. Very clear voice. So, Samhita, you've seen the question? This is current I1, this is I2.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me the relative value of I1 and I2? Which is greater, which is lesser, or are they equal? Can you tell me the relative value of I1 and I2?
Sir, I'm not sure about it.
Why not sure? Okay. Tell me. So if I'm not sure, how can you know how to calculate I1 here? How would I calculate I1? Which rule I have to use to calculate I1 here? Samhita, your voice gone. How do you calculate current I1? Using loop rule. If I start from here, how would I calculate it? Loop rule, if I apply from here, plus 6 minus 5I1 plus 12 minus 10 I1 is equal to 0. Samita, are you there or are you not there now?
I'm there, sir.
Okay, have you understood what you have written here?
Yes, sir.
If we write the equation here, here also what has happened? Position of battery has been changed. Equation remains same. The order of terms will change. See what will happen here? In this case, I'll write minus 5 I2 plus 6 plus 12 minus 10 I2. Are these two equations different? Both are same. So if I interchange position of battery and resistance, does the current in single loop changes? In the single loop, current does not change.
Change.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir.
But good to hear your voice. Your voice is clear, loud and clear. And hopefully next time you give good answer also.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, in the previous one, sir,
Yes.
can we take those as internal resistances?
See, if I use something like this, okay, let me go through your point, what you're saying. Suppose I have given two things here. I've given a battery here. Suppose I'm given these 2 points. Suppose something like this is given, and this is EMF of the battery. This is not internal resistance. This is not an internal resistance. But can I replace them, whole thing between A and B, with one single battery and one single resistance?
We can.
We can.
Yes, sir.
It doesn't matter whether it's internal resistance or external resistance. As far as the circuit goes, both behave in the same fashion. I can replace these two whole thing. And suppose this had an internal resistance plus external resistance. This was 1 ohm internal resistance plus external resistance. Still what we can do, we can take this whole thing as one resistance. And I can still use the formula.
E1 R2 plus E2 R1.
So, but does it make intuitive sense why I can do that? This formula basically, when we derive this equation, you put one battery, one resistance. Whether the resistance is inside the battery or outside the battery doesn't make a difference in terms of the circuit calculation. So I can do so. Okay, we could have done that. Okay, so this kind of question also, resistance between A and B, easy. This is simple. This is parallel series. You can reduce it to. Can you solve this also? What is the equivalent resistance between A and B? Pranav Soma, can you solve this question? Can you find resistance between A and B?
Yes, sir.
Tell me what to the value. Which method you'll use?
Well, we can just.
No, see again, mentally what we start with, again I'll repeat, what do we start with? We look for something series easy, same current flowing through, direct connection. Then we look for parallel, and sometimes the circuit is a little confusing. What we do, we redraw if we are not able to identify. And if not that work also, then we look for symmetry. And if not symmetry, we look for VT stone. These are various combinations. If all are not there, what we do? We can always go for next question. No, so we don't get, there's another method also. Okay, so in this method, which method you use, Pranav?
Symmetry, probably.
Do you see symmetry here?
I mean, no.
So which method you use to solve? Think of which method to use. I would have used user. This something, it looks something like this. They're connected on this. See, this kind of, whenever drawn circle and all this, there may be some parallel circuit, but it is not visible. So what we do here, see which point, this is A point, this everywhere, this is, if I mark all the points which have potential as B, everywhere, what is the potential of all these points? No, all this point, what is the potential?
Same.
Same. Or let me point that in different way. So this is all B. And this is A. What is it? And how many distinct potential points here?
3.
3. This area has a different potential and call it a C. Okay. Now can I draw this circuit A, B, C? Pranav, can you draw the circuit now?
Yes, sir.
So there's a point A, other end point B, and this in between point C. If I call this as R1, this is R2, and this is R3, and this is R4. R1 is connected between which point? A and C. How is R2 connected?
Between B and C, 3 are in parallel, sir.
All three are in parallel. Between B and C, all three are in parallel. So that's the circuit. Was it a difficult question, Pranav?
No, sir.
You should have spotted, is it not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, and the rest of you also notice that one. So, whenever there's a sequence, we logically think in our mind, one by one we can go through and we can spot the right one and solve the question. Okay. Similarly, we can do this also, AB, and you can do it afterwards. I think all of you can try. This question also you can try. Yeah, okay. This one. What is the equivalent resistance between A and B? All of you think in your mind, and those who have understood, please raise your hand, and rest of you also think harder. What is the equivalent resistance between point A and B for the circuit which is given? Gautami, you also raised your hand? No. Gautami has not raised her hand. Okay. Also, many of you, I think, would have recalled from capacitor days. Okay. Preetham, how do what is the answer for this, Preetham? Hey, but how did you solve this one? What basis?
The middle one, it's a Wheatstone bridge, sir.
It's a Wheatstone bridge. No, so what we have, how do you spot between Wheatstone? First thing I notice, how many resistors? 5 of them are there. Okay. How do you come? This doesn't look like a Wheatstone. How do you say it is Wheatstone?
We need to redraw the circuit.
We can either redraw or we can judge by the potential points. Both the ends of the.
Okay, so if I can redraw, so I can take this point as C and D. How many junction point? A, B, C, D, like Wheatstone. This is something if I can take like this, it is like this. So this point A and B, and there are other points C and D. So something connected between A and D, one resistance connected, A and C, another resistance connected, C and D. So all across the resistance are connected like this. That's the circuit. Mentally, I can quickly see it is like a Wheatstone. And Wheatstone 1, which is connected between C and D, can be removed. The one which is connected between C and D is this. If I remove this one, then these two become in series. So it becomes R and R. This is removed. It becomes equal to 2R and 2R. Anish, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
But you understood after I told, or you have understood before I told?
Before.
Before, good. I guess something similar we have seen. We have done in case of capacitor. Okay. Coming to this question, all of you look at the question. Just forget this part. I have to find equivalent resistance between A and B. We have done something in case of capacitor.
Q symmetry. Q symmetry.
Is this a Wheatstone?
No.
No, it's not a Wheatstone. Because this is 5 by 10. This is not 5 by 10. This is 10 by 5. So I have to find what is the resistance between 2 points. This one is neither a Wheatstone nor this one. We cannot use a parallel series combination. We cannot use Wheatstone. This kind of question is the last step. This question we have to solve using basic approach. What is basic approach? If current is coming as I into the junction, what is the potential difference between these 2 points? So resistance between A and B, I have to calculate potential difference between A and B point in terms of current.
Current will be equally distributed, right?
Why? This is not, two paths are not symmetrical. Is this path and this path identical? So let's look at this. Are this path identical? No. So let's look at this. So before I get started, This is not based on Wheatstone. This is not based on parallel series. This is based on basic approach. What is the basic approach? Resistance between 2 points is equal to potential difference divided by current. So what we'll do, we'll take a current distribution, we'll mark the current distribution and calculate potential difference between A and B in terms of current and resistance, and divide by the current. Let's see how do we do it. So let's do the current distribution. Let's assume this current is I1. If this current is I1, do we see some kind of symmetry? If this current is I1, is there any other resistance in which the current has to be I1?
Sir, the 5 ohm resistor at the bottom. Sir.
Bottom. This also has to be equal to I1. That's what we had done in case of symmetry. Explained in terms of capacitor. Same logic holds good here also. Similar way, if this current is I2, one more resistance will have current I2. Which one? This one will have I2. If this is I1 and I2, the current, if I take downward direction, is positive. In this case, incoming current is equal to I1. So sum of this outgoing current also has to be I1. So this is I1 minus I2, this direction. So this I have marked current. How I'm going to get this resistance value? I can write potential difference between A and B in terms of I1 and I2. And what is the total current entering this junction A? What is the current entering junction A? What should I write in the denominator?
I1 plus I2.
I1 plus I2.
So I'm getting two terms I1 and I2. How do I get rid of I1 and I2? I need to find an equation which gives me relationship between I1 and I2. How do I go and get that equation? By applying a Kirchhoff rule in one loop. So that's a method. So what is our resistance, equivalent resistance? VAB divided by I. Or current is I1 plus I2. That's a current entry. Let's do that one. So how do you find? I need to find a relationship between, if I apply Kirchhoff loop rule. Which loop I am applying? I'm applying in this loop. Minus 5 I1. Minus 5 into I1 minus I2. This current. And this one is plus. Why this plus here? So this one is minus sign. I'm going in this direction, this minus sign. So this one is minus sign, this one is minus sign, and this is the plus sign. And we write I into R. So minus 5 I1, minus 5 I1 minus I2, plus 10 I2. That gives me relationship between I1 and I2. If I simplify, I get 2 I1 is equal to 3 I2. What should I do next? What should I do next? I have to find this. Potential difference. No, so I have to find VA minus VB. How do I find potential difference 2 points? I start from the first point, write plus and minus sign until I reach the final point. How many paths are possible? Number of paths are possible. I choose any path. Now, which path I have chosen? I have chosen this path. And I find the potential difference between AB becomes equal to 5 into I1 plus 10 into I2. Now what I have done, I have written up in place of I2, I substituted 2 by 3 I1. I get the value of VAB in terms of I1. Then I write how to find equivalent resistance. VAB have terms of I1. Current is I1 plus I2. Again, I substitute the I2 value equal to 2 by 3 I1. I substitute, I find the equivalent resistance equal to 7 ohms. See that all of you have followed this method.
Any combination we can do like this, right?
Yeah, any combination. Whichever path you choose, and you choose different value of I1 and I2. See, we could have done without this I1 and I2. I mentioned last time also. I could have
I'm asking
this,
like any combination of resistors.
Yes, for any combination resistance, it can be done. But what happens as the complexity of circuit increases, number of current values become more, and number of loops also on which you can apply this equation becomes more. So any combination, if it is, it can be solved. Just all of you look at this. Let me repeat the whole thing once. What did we? How did we start with? We have to find resistance between A and B. First thing what we have done, we have done current distribution. Okay, let me write down. So mentally, all of you think that, see that you have understood how you're going to do it. See, if this is start with a clean slate, think in your mind how do you going to do it. Broad steps are what? What are the broad steps we talked about? Broad steps we talked about is what you're going to do. We are going to use to find potential difference. I'm going to to find equivalent resistance between A and B. What is resistance between 2 points? Is equal to potential difference between 2 points divided by the current flowing into the junction. So there's something. How I'm going to find? I'm going to do you use current distribution, and we'll find potential difference between A and B in terms of current. And divide by current terms will cancel out. I get the value of R. The steps involved are current distribution. First, I write this current as I1. And because of symmetry, this current also will become I1. And if this current is I2, this current also becomes I2. And then applying junction rule at this point, I find this current is equal to I1 minus I2. I could I have written this one in a different form? I could have written this as something like this also. Are they same? Yes, both are same. But I have chosen this. So if I write outward direction, it will become I1 minus I2. If I write current into the junction, it becomes I2 minus I1. I hope all of you understand this point also. So after writing current distribution, I applied the Kirchhoff loop rule in one of the loop. Applying Kirchhoff loop rule in one, I will get a relationship between I1 and I2. After getting the relationship, I write potential difference between 2 points along any path. I could have taken this path. I could have taken this path. All paths will give you the same potential difference. So I have taken potential difference across this path, which is 5I1 plus 10I2. By that, so I could have written this something VA minus 5I1 minus 10I2 and is equal to VB. So it gives you VA minus VB is equal to 5I1 plus 10I2. And from this equation, I can express potential difference in terms of one current. And then we find the equivalent resistance VAB divided by I1 plus I2. Why I1 plus I2? That's a current flowing into the junction, and we get this resistance.
Sir?
Yes?
So will we get the same potential difference in any path followed?
Any path, of course.
Okay, sir.
You can see what are the paths you can choose. You can choose any random path. See, one path could be like this also. Would you find same answer? Yes, you will find same answer. So we have taken left loop. Had we taken right loop, would you get same equation? Right loop also will get the same equation. You just try this one. If you write the equation here for the right loop, do you get same equation? You get the same equation.
Sir?
Yes?
Sir, when we interchange the 10 and 5 ohm resistors of the right hand side, like
yes.
Replace 5 with 10 and 10 with 5, it becomes a balanced Wheatstone bridge, right?
If we interchange only one of them. Basically, we interchange this top one. We don't interchange the bottom one. Then it becomes a Wheatstone, yes.
Yes, sir. So then the resistance, equivalent resistance decreases to 20 by 3.
Yes.
Like, can you give a intuitive understanding of why it decreases?
See, when we look at, okay. Why it decreases? Okay, so let me tell some intuitive way. Let me think.
So we can say that more current flows when there is no Wheatstone bridge, right? Sir?
No, not that way. Another way I can think of, suppose there's some resistance between 2 point A and B. If I increase any resistance by 1, suppose I make either this 5 or 6, will the equivalent resistance between A and B invariably increase or remain same? Can it decrease if I increase any resistance? If I increase any of the resistance in the circuit, the equivalent resistance between 2 points will increase unless current through that resistance was 0. Yes, it will always increase. Does it make sense? If increase any resistance, current will increase. Sorry, resistance will increase. Is that logical? Does it make intuitive sense?
Yes, sir.
So I'll use that logic only. Then let's see. Can I arrive at something based on that? So what logic I'm using, if I increase any resistance, overall resistance.
One is increasing, one is decreasing, right?
No, that's why I'm trying to look at just thinking of can we work out intuitive way. See, this something, is there some logical way we can conclude? I'm just trying to think. Some places it will not be possible, some places may be possible. Okay. So let's see that one. So what happens? Okay. So okay. So suppose I let me take some value. What would make it balanced? Okay, it was supposed 2.5 ohms. Okay, so I can calculate when it is 2.5, what is the equivalent resistance? I can easily calculate. But from 2.5, if I make it 10, whatever value I get with 2.5 with 10, it will increase. See, if this was 5 and this was 2.5, what would have been the equivalent resistance between that case? I could have removed this one. So what I'm saying, in a way, I can find the range intuitively. I can find a range by converting into a Wheatstone. So when I make it 2.5, what is the equivalent resistance between A and B?
(7.5 into 15 by 22.5).
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, but since actually it is more, so actual resistance will be definitely more than this. So this is the lower bound.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, if I can take upper bound, now I can do rather this is 10. If I make this as 20, it becomes my upper bound.
Yes, sir.
There's something like that we can do. But very intuitively, sometimes we cannot intuitively, but some question need to solve. But if I need to look at what is happening intuitively, you can look at something like this. I can find lower range, I can find the upper range, and I can find that it has to fall somewhere in between. So we can do that, but not other way around. Okay. Okay then. So I think, oh sorry, so it's almost run out of time. So I'll stop the session here. So tomorrow I'll continue with some more application of Wheatstone. And anybody has doubt and all, you can again get in touch around 4:30 or so. Okay. So I'll end the session here. Thanks everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you. Bye, sir.